The Chinese markets are closed. The trap is set. The COMEX and the LBMA, those manipulators of the silver and gold price, are in charge. But what aren't they telling you that I will tell you? I'll go out on a limb and tell you something very interesting about what can happen this week. And we got a lot more to talk about. Massive stories. This is probably the biggest live stream we've ever done together. Thank you for joining me down here. We're going to talk about China. We're going to talk about Elon Musk, something he said, which will put a smile on the face of every silver investor out there. We've got some cool charts to look at that show very, very optimistic scenarios for the silver price as we head into the coming months, quarters, and years. And we're going to hear from the smartest financial mind in the history of the world. First, we're going to talk about you. Thank you for joining me down here in the basement. Seriously, we hit 80,000 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But it's really, really only possible because of you. So please do subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get updated every time we go live, put out new content. We want you to come back, right? This is all about community. And again, thank you very much from Upstairs Susie right there and myself. We appreciate it. Let's go out. Remember, did you hear the price of gold and silver are gonna crash this week because the Chinese are celebrating New Year? Let's go out right now and get an update on the silver price. And then we're going to talk about something they aren't telling you about this, but I will tell you and should be okay. Well, okay. So far it's working. The silver price down 1.5%, $76.38. The gold price currently in the spot market still over $5,028 per ounce. But guys, it is early, and let's hear what one of the sharpest minds in the silver and gold trading market from London has to say about what's happening this week. And then I'm going to tell you what they aren't telling you. I won't tease you with that anymore, but we're going to go out here and listen to Nick Ward from Gold Bullion Partners in London. He's an authority on the gold and silver trading market. And he had a conversation with Clive Thompson. Here we go. Let's listen to what he says. We're just going to listen to the first minute of this video, but this guy is sharp. This guy knows what he's talking about. Let's hear what he has to say.
Where do we even start? The market's going crazy, but in 2 days' time, on February the 15th to the 23rd, the Shanghai Metals Exchange closes for the Chinese New Year, as you know. And that's 9 straight days with no physical price anchor from the world's largest physical metals buyer. And that means that the paper casino in the West is basically going to lose its referee. So this is going to be the manipulation zone, if you like. And every time Shanghai goes dark, the COMEX wizards come out and slam prices with phantom selling and naked shorting. And in all likelihood, I think they're going to try and flood the market in the next couple of weeks with paper contracts backed by nothing, while retail traders are going to panic sell or give up their physical at massive discounts, which is obviously exactly what they want.
Okay, so there we go. That's what everybody is saying. Did you hear what he said? The referee is gone, right? Because China is the physical market. So now it's all in the hands of the paper market, the LBMA, the COMEX, the anchor, that the physical anchor for the price of silver and gold are going to be temporarily gone. The sky is falling. Remember the old saying, when the cat's away, the mice will play. Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. We're not going to give too much credence on what's happening just right now. We are early. The market's only been open for 20 minutes, but I'm going to tell you what I believe is going to happen, and this is what they're not telling you. I think 1 week from now, we got a pretty good shot that we're going to be sitting here with a higher silver price. Now, don't make any financial decisions based upon that proclamation. But have you ever noticed in the past, I mean, everybody's talking about how China's closed and the COMEX and the LBMA, and they're right. Okay, they're right. But I've been around long enough. And if you realized, if you witnessed this as well, that when everybody is anticipating that something is going to happen, in particular in any type of financial market, oftentimes the opposite happens. So I'll go out on a limb, right? Like, I'm not making a bet. I'm not putting a ton of money into this, but I think that it's very likely that 1 week from tonight on Sunday, what would that be? The 22nd of February, that we're actually going to have a higher silver price. It's not out of the question, guys. And because what happens is people front run, right? The markets are based on expectations. So last week, right, in the last 2 weeks, when everybody expected that, oh, the COMEX and the LBMA are going to smash the silver price, they already made their bets, okay? I'm telling you. And I won't go on any longer, but I think we got a better than even chance that a week from now, we're going to be sitting here with what could be much higher prices in silver and gold. I'll eat my words if I'm wrong. And I'm not a financial advisor. Don't make any financial decisions. But enough on that. And here's one that sums it up. Is this how you're starting to feel? Let's say goodbye to Nick Ward. Thank you, Nick, for that awesome commentary. But here we go. This, I think, sums it up from Silver Degen. It says, did you know the price goes down this week? Right? Like, everybody's talking about it. And there's this guy. This is from a famous movie. Hold on. Am I sharing? Yes, I am. Sorry. A famous movie. He's got a gun to the other guy saying, and he says, if you say China is on vacation one more time, I dare you. So we'll see how this all plays out. It's going to be super interesting. But what about Elon Musk? What did Elon Musk say? And I've got two things that nobody talks about when it comes to solar demand. But what did Elon Musk say about solar demand? And what data can we look at that we know demand for silver is going to continue to absolutely skyrocket? Let's go out here and take a look at this one. Elon had a very simple, powerful tweet. Solar will utterly dominate. Okay, up there we go. Solar will utterly dominate future electricity production. He was talking about this from Katie Miller. She says solar. And guys, when you think, hold on, I got to look at you. I apologize. I apologize. I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you this. When you think solar, you think silver. Okay. And when you look at the word solar and you look at the word silver, right? They start with S, they end with R, and they got an L in the middle, and there's just a couple letters you got to mix up. Solar and silver are like the same darn thing. When you drive by one of those solar farms and you're on the highway and you see hundreds and thousands of solar panels, don't look at them as solar panels. Look at those as little silver bars, like as far as the eye can see. Now, let's go back, and there's two interesting things here, and then I've got a perspective that no one else is talking about with other reasons why solar will continue to explode. Solar is now the dominant source of new U.S. power capacity, the dominant source of new U.S. power capacity, and is on track to surpass coal in total installed capacity before the end of this year. 70 gigawatts of new solar capacity is scheduled to come online in the next 2 years, a 49% increase in operating solar capacity from the end of 2025. Now, when we look at the bar chart over here, okay, when we look on the left at the bar chart, you can see solar, right, continuing to grow. However, when we look, well, two things on this. I'm sorry, right? Number one, it's growing, but number two, okay, it's not that huge even now. So it's got a lot of room to grow. Look how much is made by natural gas, right? Look at how much is made by coal. And don't forget, right, coal's going down. The amount of solar or silver power generation has a lot of room for growth. Now, let's go over here. Hold on here and look at the share of total U.S. power generation. And there, the yellow line, I'm going to draw a red line underneath it, is solar. When we look at it on a line graph, it's obviously going up. But wait, there's more. There's a lot more. because what people don't talk about when it comes to solar power, I've got it written down. I may have to look at my notes, but there's a few huge benefits. Number one, the solar power is generated right where typically it's consumed. Obviously, what I'm referring to are people that have solar panels on their house, but it doesn't require any massive infrastructure. Think about what's the other metal that everybody's talking about? Copper. All those wires crisscrossed all around the United States. We got them in our yard. We got them. That's made out of copper. That's very, very expensive. Wait till you hear the stat that I dug up on this. But right, it's very expensive. It's also very hard to maintain. We have above ground power lines here. Anytime there's a thunderstorm and the wind blows, the power goes out and the electric company has to come out, and those guys make like $600 an hour. Okay. So think about that. With solar, if people put solar panels and as they get better on their homes, the power is generated on your roof and goes straight into your house. You don't need all those wires, right? Which are made out of copper, which is very expensive and very hard to maintain. Okay. And on top of that, I looked it up. Apparently, big electric utilities, they spend half of their money on the transmission of the electricity, meaning on those wires, on that. It's expensive as well. Okay. The outlook for solar is incredible. And one more thing, the cherry on top, when they ship electricity from the coal plant to your house in those expensive copper wires, part of the electricity gets lost. I thought it was more, but according to my research, it's only like 5 to 7% because of transformers. But we're not here to become electrical engineers. We're here to talk about solar and silver. And guys, I don't care how you slice it or dice it. I don't think anything really compares. I know nuclear could be, and I'm kind of pro-nuclear myself, but in terms of efficiency of electric generation, and then I'll say this: think about if you're a poor person in India. They hardly have electric wires, whatever, in India, and you're finally making some money. And those people in India love silver to begin with. And you want some electricity, even just a little bit of electricity. You stick the panels, 2 panels on the roof of your house, you generate the electricity, boom, it goes right straight into your house. And solar panels, right? They talk about thrifting, they talk about whatever. At the end of the day, the solar industry is consuming massive amounts of silver. Sorry, I got off on a tangent. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to look at the charts. 3 good things in the charts when we look at silver. We're going to get to that next. First, I do want to say thank you to channel sponsor First Mint. They are the silver specialist. That's all they do is make silver bullion products in Las Vegas, Nevada. World-class silver bullion products. They get their silver from First Majestic, who owns First Mint. And they ship the silver from Mexico to Las Vegas, Nevada. And then when you become a customer, it gets shipped straight to you. From the mine to the mint to you, the freshest silver on the market. They do have a discount code for us in the Ron's Basement community. VIP RB, like very important person, Ron's Basement. Now let's go look at the charts. Jesse Colombo. We love this guy, Jesse Colombo. He writes a Substack called the Bubble Report. He's got like, I don't know, thousands and thousands of people that subscribe and pay. And he puts out little teasers from time to time. And he put out this chart, guys. It's got 3 great things. I need my list. It's getting late. 3 great things that are happening in the silver market right now. Let's pull this up. There's Jesse. Again, that's the Bubble Report. He said, despite recent turbulence, silver remains in a strong uptrend and is hovering near oversold levels, which is typical setup for a rebound. In here, look at this chart. There's 3 things on this chart that we want to look at. Number 1, like he said, here's the range right here, the $70 to $80 support range. And so far, so good. We'll go check on the spot price of silver here in a little bit. But we are still in this range, consolidating. And when we consolidate, what that means is we're building a strong foundation for future growth in the silver price. All the short timers, a few of those sheeple that may have showed up, right? They're leaving. They're gone and being replaced by people that are buying silver, physical silver mostly, because this is a physical rally, hand over fist. So there's the support zone. That's number one. Okay, number two, we've got this right here, an upward sloping 200-day moving average, which is a confirmed uptrend. I'll take my drawing off there so we can see it. But that line right here, I'll draw right underneath it. That's the 200-day moving average. That means every day it gets updated as to the last 200 days of the closing silver price. And it's a big indicator as to momentum in any market whatsoever. The other cool thing that's going on is that from a technical perspective, right, as we can see down here, silver, right, is near, I'll get rid of my circle, near being oversold, right? We're getting down there. That's, I believe, the RSI indicator, and we're back down here. We were way up here, overbought, right? Overbought. And you can stay in these areas for long periods of time. However, at some point when you're overbought, you will come back to reality. And same is true when you're oversold. You will come back to reality. Okay, let's talk about Wells Fargo in the gold market. And then we're going to listen to and talk about the sharpest mind in the economic world. The guy who, in my opinion, makes Warren Buffett, and I like Warren Buffett, no doubt, but like Warren Buffett doesn't hold a key to the sky. And we're going to listen to what he says about precious metals. And then we're going to talk about the number one key as to why we are here in the precious metals market. I do want to say thank you to First Mining Gold for sponsoring Ron's Basement. They enable us to get together, have these awesome live streams. First Mining Gold is a development stage gold mining company. They have two projects, Springpole in Ontario, Du Parquet, located in Quebec. Separately, they both each have millions of ounces of gold in the ground. You can learn more about the company at firstmininggold.com. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. And in full disclosure, I've owned the stock, and I owned it for years before they sponsored the channel. All right, guys, let's talk about the gold price. What did Wells? We haven't talked about this for a while. The big banks. The big banks are saying big things about gold, and by default, silver. And Wells Fargo came out with a shocker recently when it comes to the gold price. Here we go. This comes from the Guru. Hold on. Little tech issue there. The Guru Focus. Let's see. Hold on, guys. Oh, here we go. Get you up to the top. Here we are. Wells Fargo raises their 2026 gold price target amid market volatility. And when we talk about gold, we're talking about silver. You know, gold's the granddaddy of the precious metal. In yellow, Wells Fargo Investment Institute has significantly increased its gold price target for the end of 2026 to up to $6,300 per ounce, up from the previous range of $4,500 to $4,700. That's a huge increase. This adjustment represents a rise of nearly 35%. Despite recent fluctuations, gold remains appealing compared to other market sectors, particularly amidst volatility in tech and AI stocks. Yeah, go figure, right? Key factors driving the appeal include central bank as structural buyers and rising geopolitical and policy uncertainties. Remember that bunk deal that we had on Thursday last week when Bloomberg came out and said, apparently Russia is thinking about getting back into the dollar trading system. And then we actually heard from Russia, from the TASS news agency and from the Russian central bank that we weren't aware of this. So, the level of geopolitical uncertainty in the world is not going anywhere. Interest rates remain critical with markets pricing in. There's something key here. Potential rate cuts by 2026, reducing the opportunity cost of holding non-yielding assets like gold. Guys, we got like a big potential bonus factor when it comes to interest rates, because that's actually wrong. the big money on the CME FedWatch tool is not anticipating significant interest rate cuts at all. Okay, yes, they are anticipating some interest rate cuts, but nothing like the president of the United States, Donald Trump, is saying that he wants from his new head of the Federal Reserve, Mr. Wash. So this could even get better. Wells Fargo anticipates policy uncertainties and interest rate changes will continue to benefit gold. Central banks remain pivotal long-term buyers. I don't know why I highlighted this, with significant gold purchases reported in recent years. Okay, so yeah, the central banks are buying, and I won't go down this path too far, right? But so is the world's biggest crypto company, Tether, who right behind the world's central banks has become the world's largest buyer of gold as gold continues to get tokenized on a worldwide basis and being backed up by real physical gold in a vault in Switzerland, which I think is going to become one of the major factors driving demand for gold. Independent as to whether or not people like crypto or not, that doesn't matter. When the world's biggest crypto company is becoming the world's biggest private buyer of gold, that is telling us something. Oh, and by the way, their CEO, when asked publicly recently what his price target for gold was, he said, I don't want to tell you because you won't believe how high, basically, I think the gold price can go. What about Ray Dalio? The one and only Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is commonly referred to as one of the sharpest minds in the economic and financial worlds. This guy built the world's biggest hedge fund, and he started it out of a spare bedroom in his apartment with like no money. Okay, he's super smart, and he's got something very important to say about precious metals. Let's go see what Ray has to say, and then I'm going to give you the zinger on top of what he's saying. Ray Dalio is calling for gold to be the world's new currency to replace the fiat system. This is 48 seconds long. Let's listen to what Ray has to say.
It's the beginning of the end of the monetary system as we know it. It's not just the US dollar, it's the fiat monetary currencies. So the UK, the euro, Japan, China all have similar debt problems and so on, and are dealing with the same interrelationships, which is the reason you're seeing gold being chosen by the central banks. They want a currency. Gold has always been the main currency, and it's the only non-fiat currency. In other words, not the currency that can't be printed, that they want. And so that's why you're seeing central banks move and sovereign wealth funds move to gold. And that's the nature of the shift of the monetary system.
The monetary system is changing right before our very eyes. Ray Dalio talking about the potential downfall of the fiat system, right? The dollar, the euro, the yen, even China he throws in there. But there's something very important for us to take a step back and remember. Super important. Gold and silver have always been the world's reserve currencies. Will you drill that into my head? I have to keep reminding myself. We get lost in the dollar dream. We get lost in the euro dream. When you look at the long-term history of the world, period, gold and silver have always been the world reserve currencies. They're the one thing over thousands of years that every human that ever lived could agree on, and that is that they are valuable, always and everywhere. So what we're seeing right now, what we're living through right now, this period of change like none other that most of us have experienced, right, is truly a watershed moment. Okay, look, I love my country. I'm sure you do too, whether you're in the United States or wherever you are, but we probably don't, if you live in a country that has a fiat currency, like the US dollar, we don't like what our leaders have done over the last 50 to 60 years. And that's okay to say that, okay? When the US dollar was backed by gold up until 1971, when President Richard Nixon temporarily took it off the gold standard, things were a lot better. I was born in 1970. Okay, I remember growing up a very middle class, very humble beginnings, okay, with the world's best parents. that both worked. You know, my dad worked, but middle class. And we had a good life. We went to Disney World, right? Middle class now in this world does not have as good of a life, in my opinion, as they did. The young kids can't even buy houses anymore. They're saying the Gen Z, I feel sorry for them. Like they've got like almost no chance, and they don't want to have kids because they're like, how do we make this work? Anyway, I digress. Gold and silver have always been the world reserve currencies. Let's go ahead and check on the silver and gold price and see what has happened since we have been live, and we will go out. Okay, it's gotten a little better, guys. Here we are, the world spot price. I think silver was down, I don't know, like $1.50 when we looked earlier, and now we're just down about 93 cents. Look, I know, we know this week China is on holiday, okay? And everybody, I'm telling you, and I could be dead wrong, and I'll eat crow, and you can throw eggs at me and send me mean emails if you like, but I think we got a better chance than even that a week from now, the silver price and the gold price are actually going to be higher. I've seen this show so many times before, especially in financial markets, when everybody's saying, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. I remember, I'm old enough, you probably are too. Remember Y2K when the year 2000 rolled over and all the lights were supposed to go out and the markets were going to crash? Actually, that's when I first started getting interested in precious metals. Like I guess I was a prepper at that point, whatever. And then it was a nothing burger. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see how this week plays out. Think about this. Just because China is closed their precious metals trading markets, does that mean that the solar panel industry is going to stop using silver? Does that mean that the AI sector is going to stop consuming massive amounts of silver? Does that mean that the mining companies are going to suddenly start making a lot more silver? No, none of that's true. The fundamental story remains intact. I want to say hi to a few people today. Upstairs, Susie requested that. So, hey, if you like, I'm going to pull up in the comments section. Tell me where you're joining us from, and I'm going to do my best to read as many of yours locations as possible. I'm not too good of a speed reader, but I'm going to look up here. I see Andy Jackson. All right, my friend. I see Tesla Rules. Hey, Nashville. Okay, Craig, good to see you, my friend. Bristol, Tennessee, South Carolina. My eyes are getting bad. Lymet, Bristol, Tennessee, Kingsport. We got a lot of people from Tennessee. Long Beach, California, Indianapolis, Toronto. Bitcoin went, I can't read that. California. Think about where everybody is from. Where else? Missouri, New Jersey, Rio Lindo, California, Montana, Kansas, Belgium. Wow, guys. What, I can't read this. I'm sorry. Hey, Ron. Hey, Tuberson, North Georgia, Connecticut, Steve, Canada, New York, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Apollo Beach, wherever that is, Australia, probably California, Newfoundland. Awesome. San Diego, Mid-Ohio, Rotterdam. Is that the Netherlands? I think so. Papa, California. Oh, my gosh. From down under, sofa. No, oh, New England. We got a British guy here, the LBMA, Florida. Reno, Nevada, Mars, Florida, Mexico. Awesome. Virginia, China. Oh, my gosh. You're supposed to be on holiday. Australia, Spring Hill. Oh, my God. Okay. Walnut Creek, California. All right, guys. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll be back on tomorrow. There's big, everybody's talking about this $1,000 silver. Somebody came up with a real plausible path to $1,000 silver. Okay. I know it sounds outrageous. It even sounds outrageous to me, but I'm going to break it down for you, because when you look at the actual numbers in history, and I'm talking about recent-ish history, it really is possible. Hey, thank you. I love you and your wife. You know what they say. Yeah, behind all men. This is upstairs, Susie. She wants to say hi to everybody too. Let's see if I can get her to say hello. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Susie. You want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah, hello everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Well, tonight in St. Louis anyway.
All right. Over and out. All right, guys. Take care. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in the comment section. We got the best community. We are basement dwellers. Okay. And I will see you. Oh, don't. And if you're interested, I keep forgetting. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. There it is right there. Dirty Man Safe. Go check out Dirty Man Safe. And there's a discount code, Ron10. Most important, have a great evening. Okay. Thank you so much. And I will see you. I see you now, but I'll see you again down here in the basement soon. Thank you.